Yeah.
Yes,
Sorry.
please continue. Something you were asking that, please.
Sir, actually, I was asking like how the course would be like. I saw yesterday you written the content, but how it would be?
Yes.
It would be more AWS or desktop related. How it is? If you can, give some idea about that, that will be helpful.
Okay, we are having both here.
Okay.
We are having both. First of all, we are going to concentrating on VMware,
Okay.
uh, configuring our own infrastructure, which means that our own data center like that.
Okay.
So you can go through that complete the process on our own data center. Then once we finish this one, then we can switch to AWS also.
Okay.
Maybe why we are going to discussing like that? Yes, all companies are not using that AWS, complete AWS.
Okay.
So maybe some people are using their own data centers.
Okay.
If you are looking for who are using that one data center, so for example, just imagine it, you are having complete experience or knowledge on that AWS cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have any kind of knowledge on premises, if you'll
Okay.
get this, if you'll get both opportunities on single job, how can you perform?
Okay.
Is it necessary or not?
Yes, this is necessary.
Okay. So that reason we are going to concentrating complete on premises plus then we can concentrate on AWS also. So once we enter into AWS, already we are having basic or intermediate or whatever based on your experience.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did on the on premises. For example,
Okay.
how we can configure Git, how we can configure that Jenkins, Maven, Tomcat, whatever we are going to configuring. This all things on our data center. Same thing we have to configure on the cloud also.
Okay.
Before configuring that, you have to know about that what is that AWS, what is that type of that components, and what are the services, what is that compute and VPC, subnet, security group, and Elastic, okay, RDS, CloudWatch, auto scaling, and what is that high availability, load balancer. Okay, these all things you have to know that how can we create that AMI, our own image mission. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yes.
these all things we are going to learning, and from your side already have configured that now. What is that Jenkins we are going to configuring here, Jenkins we are going to configuring, Git we are going to configuring, Maven. So once we enter into the AWS, you can practice yourself. Okay, because already we are having that knowledge and experience. What is that practical experience? Whenever we
Okay.
are whenever you are doing these things on AWS, if you get any kind of issue, then we can discuss in the classroom. Okay. Before finishing this course, we'll discuss it. Okay. So little bit that is easy to process. Or else if you want to only complete AWS, I'll discuss that. That's easy for me. That no issue.
No, both is good actually. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Shall we start now? Yes. Vishishta, please, can you introduce a little bit about you, please?
Yeah, sure. I'm from Canada and
Okay.
already working as a cloud engineer here in Canada. And I'm
Okay.
AWS Solution Architect certified. And
Okay.
my company is interested to do some work in Docker and Kubernetes. So I know a
Okay.
little bit about Jenkins and
Okay.
Git is fine, but not much about Docker and Kubernetes. So my interest is more Docker and Kubernetes.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Do you have knowledge or any kind of experience of how to configure Jenkins?
Yes, basically. Not much, yeah, but I'm aware of the basic things.
Okay. What about Docker? Are you using Docker in your project?
Docker is zero and Kubernetes is zero.
Zero knowledge. You are saying that.
Yeah, I'm just aware that this is a container, but never worked on it and never learned anything.
Okay. Okay. Not like that. So we need to learn that. We should learn about that, and we should work with that. What is container? How can we can? Okay. What is Docker? Oh, complete. Okay. Nothing to worry about that. but we are showing that practically. Okay. So from our classroom, nearly 70 to not 75, nearly 90% practical orientation concepts. So we are not going to concentrate much more on theory. So once you learn practically, then you can convert that is a concept to theoretically also. Okay. But if whenever we are going to discuss much more theoretically, okay, we can't work with the practical orientation. So that reason, whatever we are going to discuss from beginning, we are going to concentrate in practically. Meanwhile, we'll discuss a little bit about that theoretically also. What is the use of the tool, where we are using, that's the concept. Okay. Yes, now. Yesterday, what we discussed? Yes, guys.
Introduction to DevOps.
Yes, introduction to DevOps. Still we are in that introduction to DevOps. What is the flow of the process? So we are going to covering these tools. We are going to covering these tools, Git and GitHub. No problem. We will discuss, okay, whenever we are having that backups, okay, we'll discuss that. Backlogs if you have, we'll discuss that. Okay, no problem. I'll take that backup sessions also. Okay, Git to GitHub, Jenkins, Maven, Tomcat. What is the use of Tomcat? What is the use of Tomcat?
It is an
Yesterday,
application.
sorry.
It is a container where we can host applications.
Application server.
Yes. How many types of servers are there?
Actually, two types: web servers and application servers.
Okay, what is the difference between web server and web application server?
Actually, in one of the server, the static content means it is related to the static content of the JSP pages. Something related to the static of the JSP pages, it will show or not show. I was not sure about that.
Okay, actually, whatever we are having that web servers, we are using for load balancing purpose. Okay, we are using for load balancing purpose. And which one we are having that web application server? Okay, like that Tomcat, WebLogic, WebSphere, JBoss, Glassfish, and so many tools are there. Okay, but practical purpose we are using the Tomcat, and what is the web application purpose, and we are using that Apache web server and Nginx, both are web servers. Both are web servers we are going to configuring, and we can use for a load balancing purpose. We'll see that later on that. Okay, but Tomcat is the web application server which we are having that web applications or business applications. Business applications. For example, all kinds of banking applications, all kinds of that e-commerce applications, and all kinds of that business who are going to running that business there online. These all are calling as a business applications. Okay, we can run static and dynamic pages by using web application servers, but we can't run dynamic pages on web server. Are you getting my point? We can't run dynamic pages on web server. Okay. After that, yes, once we configure this web server, that web application, this server we are going to integrating with database servers. Database servers. Before that, web application servers, we are going to configuring load balancer. Load balancer. So before that, we are going to configure like that firewalls or something like that. Okay, network traffic, everything. Yes, network traffic controlling by the web application server. Sorry, what is that? Load balancer. So before entering into web application load balancer or web application server, we are going to configuring firewalls. Okay, inbound and outbound rules. And SonarQube. Yesterday we discussed about that. What is the purpose of SonarQube? Yes, to check the code quality. Code quality purpose we are going to check that. And what is the use of that build tool? What is the use of build tool?
For passing of the project.
Sorry.
Means for the parsing purpose, means to convert the code into the system understandable purpose.
System understandable purpose. Yes, it's also one kind of third party tool, but it works on complete Java based. It completes works on Java based. We can convert as source code to executable code format. We can convert source code to executable format. See, for example, we are having source code here. We are having source code here. Yes, it's one Java file. See, it's one Java file. It's a source code. By the source code, we can't execute whatever we required, whatever we are having requirement. Okay. So our feelings, our requirements, we have written inside this program. Whatever we are having requirements, those requirements we have written in this program format. It's calling as a source code. So whatever we are having requirements inside this program, those requirements we can't execute by this source code. What we have to do, we need to convert in another format, system understandable format. System understandable format. It's a mean interpretation. It's mean we need to interpret it. We are having that every programming language having the two kinds, that one compiler and one interpreter. Interpreter, what it can do, that it converts into mission understandable format. Mission understandable mean OS understandable format. This program can't understand the OS operating system. The operating system can't understand about this one. But who can understand this one? The compiler can understand this one. The compiler can understand. So we are going to compiling. Why we want to compile that? What is the importance of compiler? Yes, whatever we have written the program by using tools, development tools, is it okay or not? Is it okay or not? Is it okay or not mean? Yes, is this program having or not logical statements? If it is not having logical statements, automatically compiler will stop until the compiler will start the process from first line, first character, and it ends at last line, last character. In between first line, first character, and last line, last character, if is there any kind of single error, one small error, whatever that logical error, immediately the compiler stops entire program until when you debug that. Then it converts executable format. See, I'll show now here. I'll show you here. Yes, this is the program, and one more program. So these all are the programs, Java files. See, these all are the source code. We are going to converting one executable format by using build tools. So many build tools are there. Make is there, Ant is there, Maven is there, MS Build is there, Gradle is there, and a rack is there, nrack is, so many tools are there. But we are using Maven. See, these are the complete source code. What we are doing, that we are going to converting into executable format. See, this is the form.xml. It's very important thing that, see, which kind of format we are going to executing. The packaging, we are going to converting from source code to WAR package, web archiver. As a build engineer, what we have to do? Yes, we are going to converting yes dot class. Yes, we are having that programming knowledge, at least basic knowledge about that. They know that, but I don't want to say. Okay, experienced people. Yes, dot class, dot jar, dot var, dot er, dot msi, dot iso, dot exe. Okay, dot dll. Okay, not only these files, dot rpm, like that, dot db, so many kinds of format based on our requirement. Dot bat also, dot bat, we are going to writing some commands inside that. Dot bat mean, for example, yes, see, cmd. Yes, we'll start here, just wait. cmd, now ls, yes, copycon is the command to create a file in DOS, but in Linux, vi, vam, nano, cat, okay, double greater than and echo, different commands are there. Okay, copycon maven dot bat. In this, what we are doing that mvn compile, mvn test, mvn next to package, mvn package, and mvn, okay, something that deploy. Now dot obj, or we'll discuss that. Deploy. See, these are the commands. Now what we are doing that Control Z to save and exit. We copied it. Now you can come here. See, one file you can see, one more file with the name of dot bat. Where is that file? See, Windows batch file. Okay, but format is different. Okay, now if you run this one, what will happen? See, the process will start that. Okay, batch commands. See, if you see this one, it's executing. Okay, but it's not showing that. See, I'll show you here. Now what we are doing that by these maven commands, by using maven. So the program is here. The program is here. This is the source code. Now what we are doing that by this pom.xml, we are going to executing that. See, first of all, mvn package. See, this command maven, it's related to maven, and packaging mean we are going to converting source code into executable format. In this format, from beginning to ending, it compile the source code. After compiling, it convert into package. If we not having any kind of error, any logical error, automatically it will convert into executable format. Which kind of, already we are having that. What is that package name? Var package. See, this is the package name. We'll see that. So by using, we are going to using that mvn package. Mvn command not found. Maybe we didn't set that path. It's a, see, whenever you are applying that command manually, it's a manual building. It's a manual building. But in real time, we are not going to using that manual build. We can use that manual build whenever it's a requirement. But almost 95% or 99% we are going to automating. At least minimum 90% we are going to automating. Okay, automatic we are going to configuring that job. Okay, so I didn't set that part, so that reason we started building this. If you want to see that practically, just wait. Give me 1 minute time. .obj file, whenever you compile the .c file, whenever you compile the .c file, we will get that .obj file. From that file, we are going to getting that one more file with the name of .exe. With the name of .exe. Yes, in a .obj file, maybe complete that. What is it? A low level language. Complete mission coding. Mission coding, we can see that. Just wait. Yes, so these are the upcoming classes, not for you today. I'll show that how can we use this one. Yes, m2_home. This is the executable path. We are having two kinds of paths. We are having two kinds of paths. One executable path, one home path. Here both required. Both executable and home path both required. Okay. So we set here, and once again that. So we need one more, that Java path. Java_home. Here is the JDK home path required, not executable path. This is the executable path. I'm not going to selecting that. Whenever you are not selecting that bin, it's me home path. Whenever you are going to selecting that bin, it's executable path. Almost.
Ravindra, sorry to disturb you in the middle. I have just one question.
Yes.
Why Maven won't run? Why Maven won't run when JRE is pointed? Means when a project is pointed to JRE, why Maven won't run?
Sorry, your voice, side voice not. Okay. Yes, please.
Ravindra, when we are running Maven, why JDK is only required? Why not JRE?
JRE inside that Java runtime environment, there is one JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Yes, it works that internally. It works that. Okay, JDK. There are some tools. Java Development Kit. Compiler is there, and related to whatever you want to write the code inside that program. From there, we are going to collecting some classes. Java complete. How the Java will work depends on that classes, now classes and methods. So from there we are going to, if you want to compile that automatically, okay, it collect from there. But JRE also important. Whenever you want to execute that some files related to container applications. So for example, see if your jar file, if a jar file or if a WAR file want to work with that, we should have that JRE. Whenever you are going to placing in the container, I mean that a Tomcat or some other web application servers. Okay, those web application servers should depends on JRE. That's required and runtime. That's a required runtime, but we are going to using that one, but indirectly we are going to using that one. Okay, we'll see that. Okay, actually that part is okay different, but we will see that. See, now we close this one. Okay, try to close this one. Once again, open this one. Now launch. Now you can see that MVN space -- version, Maven version successful. Okay. Now MVN package. Now the process will start. It's a manual. We are going to building manually, but we need to, once we enter into the Maven, we'll discuss about this one, what we are doing right now. Okay. What are these lines going? Okay. These all are related to Maven plugins. Okay, we need to discuss a little bit in depth that once we enter into the subject. I think who are having knowledge about that Maven, guys? Yes,
Yeah, I know Maven.
you know that. Okay, okay. It will take a couple of minutes, depends on our internet speed and hardware configuration. It's only first time. On each command, whenever you are going to apply the first command, first time, or every command, first time, yes, it requires some plugins. If the plugins are not available in the local machine, it will try to download from the remote server. See, we got that build success. Now you can see one more, that say target folder. Inside this, we can see automatically it will compile that. Automatically it will compile that. See, it's the WAR file. It's the executable file. It's the executable file. Whenever you run this, yes, now copy this one. Now what we are doing, that we are going to placing inside the container. Container mean web application server. I think we change that port number. Just wait. Okay, 9091. No, yeah. I think this is not right time to discuss about that. Okay. Reason. So we'll skip the from the process. Okay. http://localhost. We'll discuss that. Separate, we are having that one platform for that. We'll discuss that. Now, see, now you can see this is the package. See, but we didn't connect to database. We didn't connect to database. Once you connect to the database, automatically the process will work. The application will work. Manually we did that, but in real time, see, just imagine it's a one kind of application. It's a business application. It belongs to client. From beginning mean, see, once the programmer finish their task, they are pushing to repository. After that, as a build engineer or release engineer, what you have to do? We need to test it. We need to test it manually, okay, or remotely, or automatically. Yes, MVN test. See, successful. Next, MVN compile or validate. Code validation. Almost first time it's over, no? Next MVN. Okay, compile. So already everything over. It's a take a matter of seconds. Now MVN clean. Now I'm going to remove that package. Which one we are having in the target folder? Yes, I'm going to remove the target folder. Yes, we are having that MVN clean. The command clean having idea about that what it want to do that about this repository. See, success gone. Now you can MVN test. Okay, yes, now you can check here. See, we got one folder. Yes, CD target. These are related. See, it's compiled it. By the test, it compiled. Next. Okay, MVN clean. You need not to delete that manually by using RM or something like that. Okay, it will remove that clearly. Now, MVN compile. These all are the commands. Yes, now you can see one more folder with the target. CD classes. Okay, we'll discuss later on that. But what is the use of build tool? We are going to building the packages based on our requirement. Based on our requirement. Okay. Are using that C, are using that Python, are using that Java, are using that C++. Okay. So whatever we are having requirement, okay, those tools we are going to using that. Now here, yesterday what we discussed here, yes, when we are going to testing that what is the use of repository, see, just now we built it now, so we are going to building that package. Which one? We built it. Where is that code? Okay, this is the var file, no? Okay. It's located. Get repos. It's a client application. Just imagine it. Generally, client requirements. Okay, client requirements. Based on its requirement, what we are doing that we are going to developing or whatever we as the client having requirement, we are going to fulfilling that. Just I'm the programmer or I'm the build engineer. You are the client. Imagine it, you are the client. As per your requirement, yes, you are going to assigning one task to me, Mr. Ravindra. Yes, we are having this kind of one requirement that maybe in next week or coming within 5 days or 10 days, we are going to releasing that new requirement. Okay, take this requirement and fulfill that. Okay, fine. Yes, whatever you are having that requirement, yes, we are going to taking that. I'm taking that. I'm going to processing. I'm going to implementing in code. Okay, I'm writing code. After that, what I'm doing that, yes, I'm going to repositorying that. After that, I'm going to validating, testing, compiling, and after that, I'm going to converting package. See, okay, finally, we got this package. When I did this one, how many days you have given time? You have given just imagine it 5 days time. But within 3 days, or within 2 days, or within 4 days, if I finish the task, After finishing that, what I have to do? Yes, I want to. Yes, or for example, yes, once I build this project, I want to test that product. As per client requirement, is it okay or not? By using that automation testing tools, that is Selenium or okay, Windrunner, LoadRunner, QTP or something, some other tools are there. Private tools and public tools are there. Okay, we are going to test it. Okay, finally, okay, overall, everything task over, the product is ready to deploy. The product is ready to deploy. Yes, these all things we finished within the first 3 days. There are remaining 2 days. There are remaining 2 days. Where we need to keep this file? Where we need to keep this file? Can you deploy within immediately? After getting this product success, can you deploy immediately? Are we doing? Guys, please respond. Are we doing? No. No. Okay. Until when you get the client approvals, we need to wait for that. Okay. Everything over. Everything over. Every test over. But the product is ready. Even the UAT team also accepted. The client located team also accepted everything that. But now the product is ready to deploy. The product is ready to deploy. Yes, but client is not ready to deploy the product. He is saying that, for example, he is e-commerce business or any kind of that business. Okay, in his godown the stock not available. In his godown the stock not available. Okay, whatever he is looking at, whatever he is introducing new product. Okay, those product details or those product software we have developed that. If you deploy this immediately in the production environment, what will happen? If anyone try to purchase, what will happen? Yes, who will face this problem? Who will face this problem? Client will face problem with his clients or from his customers. He will get that issue. As a responsible person, if you are having the permission, if you deploy to the product, what will happen? Yes, there are some business issues in future. So that reason, okay, client should not give the permission to deploy the product until when he is ready. So we need to wait for that, whatever that 2 days or 3 days or 5 days or 10 days. But until that, when you, okay, where you need to keep that file, whatever we are having the file. So that reason we are going to using that repository manager. Repository manager. It's calling as an Artifactory repository manager. There are different repositories there. JFrog is there, and what is that? Nexus is there. Some other tools are there, but we are using that. We are using Nexus repository manager. So here we are putting that package or files inside this repositories. From there, we are going to testing by using this Jenkins. So Jenkins is a very powerful tool. For each and every one, we are going to interfering. Okay, inside that Jenkins and the other tool, and okay, UAT testing, then free release. Okay, for confirmation, final confirmation. Next, production server. Production server. Here a very important thing that, okay, now the real DevOps feature starts here. Okay, if you want to deploy the product in production environment, how can you deploy? See, manually, right now we deployed that manually. Manually, we deployed this one. Manually, we deployed this one. See, once again, also that once again, I'm going to Okay, gone. The product gone. Now what we are doing that once again, see, manually in Windows. Yes, labels and okay, changing everything that. Okay, now see what we are doing that we are going to copying that once again. Manually we are going to deploying this one. Actually, it's not correct. It's correct, it's not correct. Okay. Once upon a time, there was only manual deployments. Auto build is there. Auto build is there, but auto deployment not available. But we are going to fulfilling this step also by using this DevOps tools. This DevOps tools. Okay. Now, so now you can repress it. In upcoming classes, we can see both. What is that? Auto deployment and manual deployment. Yes, we need to stop and start that Tomcat service. Then only we can see that. We undeployed that now, so that is not showing that. These are undercome all. Okay, something problem. It's not coming. The package is available. Package available. Okay, just wait. Got this. Okay, we can run this one. It's a manual deployment. But how can we automate? Yes, we can automate by using Jenkins. So that reason, Jenkins is a very powerful tool. It's calling as a CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous delivery, continuous deployment by using automation. But if you want to deploy the product, just imagine it. It's a very important thing here. Almost 70% to 80% company budget expensing on this place. Every company facing two kinds of issues: one, manpower; one, infrastructure. One manpower, one infrastructure. Infrastructures is the complete data servers and the data centers and its related place and its related network. It's related to security. It's related to power. Okay, it's related softwares. It's related hardware. Everything that. And if he want to manage the complete entire infrastructure, he should have that manpower also. Without manpower, there is no any use of infrastructure. For example, every company having that use in manpower. Without infrastructure, what is the use of manpower? both are, we need to maintain, okay, on priority basis. It's a very important thing. Yes, by the DevOps tools, what we can do, we can reduce manpower consumption and infrastructure consumption. It's calling as a cost cutting. We can cut much more cost on this environment. See, for example, client asking that, yes, I need 100 servers. Client asking, yes, you need to deploy this product on 100 servers. That's none of our business. Why he want to deploy, why he want to use 100 servers, what is the use of this one? That's none of us. But he's saying that we need to implement the task. Now you can tell me, how can you process that? If you go for AWS server, based on his business requirement, you need to take that. But AWS not providing free of cost. Okay, every cloud computer, public cloud computers, okay, public cloud computers not providing any, okay, free of cost services. They will charge for every 5 seconds also. Even you believe or not, yes, AWS going to collecting on second basis also. Yes, if you want to configure 100 servers, you can configure, but you are not going to budgeting. Someone going to expending that amount. But we need to concentrate. As a technical engineer, as a software engineer, as an experienced person, we need to concentrate on customer or client budget also. We need to reduce his budget. Now you tell me, how can we reduce this budget? How can we reduce this budget? So if you have, for example, the VMware is there, our data center is there. Okay, I can configure with 4 GB. How many servers? Yes, I have 32 GB RAM in my lab. Okay, if I spend that 4 GB for OS, remaining 28 GB is there. Yes, I can configure 7 servers. Okay, if with the 2 GB, I can configure 14 servers. But every server minimum requirement at least minimum 4 GB RAM. Now you tell me, how can we do this one? Not possible. We need to purchase another server. 3 times. What is the cost? For only infrastructure. Okay, including or excluding that, what is that networking tools and what is that some other power cables or something like that. Okay, everything there. And what about manpower? To maintain these all servers? As a single person, we can't maintain 28 servers or 100 servers. Okay, 24/7. We need to monitor, we need to put in 24/7 the servers up. But who can manage this one? At least 3 to 4 members required. 3 to 4 members required to maintain these servers in a data center. And operation side, minimum 10 to 15 members required. 10 to 15 members required to process from beginning to ending. Yes, client not interested to spend this much of expenses. As a technical team, as a technical member, how can you suggest this process to reduce manpower consumption, to reduce what is that, money consumption? Yes, there is one more powerful tool. It's calling as a Dockerization. We are going to using that Dockerization. Okay, it's gone here. It's deleted. Okay, just wait. Give me 2 minutes time. I'll show that. It's completely related to hardware infrastructure. See, for example, if client asking 100 servers, yes, physically we can't provide. Physically, the client is not interested to give that much of budget on physical servers. Okay. This is the physical server. Physical server. So we have given that 4 GB RAM. 4 GB RAM with four processors. Four processors. On this, what we are doing that? For example, 32 GB. We are having 32 GB. That's the base hardware. On this hardware, we are going to installing Windows or Linux. Windows or Linux. It's calling as a bare metal. Okay. Next, one more. We are going to installing that virtualization technology. Virtualization technology. Okay. On this, present we are using VMware. We are going to using VMware. On this VMware, what we are doing that we are going to creating servers. We are going to creating servers. But keep in mind, for running purpose, we should at least we spend 4 GB RAM for this Windows. Okay. Now, so we are going to reducing 4 GB from the 32 GB RAM. We are going to deducting 4 GB RAM from the 32 GB. How much is there? 28 GB RAM is there. From that 28 GB, you need to create how many servers you want based on your requirement. Okay. Whenever you are running, whenever you are consuming 28 GB, yes, from the 28 GB, you need to use for 28 GB for one single server, or for what is that 56 servers for half GB. Based on your requirement, you can give, if you want to, one server with 8 GB, you can spend that 8 GB. Yes, after giving that 8 GB, you need to reduce that from the 28 GB. Yes, how much remaining? 20 GB is there. From the 20 GB, you need to calculate based on your requirement. Okay, so now what I'm doing here, I'm going to creating one server. What is that? For example, production. Okay, if you want to create that, if you want to create this kind of servers, 100 servers, you can't with 4 GB. With 4 GB, you can't. So that reason what we are doing that for this time, in real time, what we are doing that. Okay, we are not going to using this one. It's the heavyweight containerization tool. Virtualization technology is the heavyweight virtualization technology. Okay, VMware, and we are going to using that lightweight. We are going to using that lightweight virtualization technology is calling as a Docker. By this Docker, what we are doing that we are going to creating n number of servers. How many servers you require? 100 or 200? Yes. Now we are going to creating. How many you want? How much we have given RAM? Now, for example, if this OS having, okay, now see, for this time, how much we are giving that? For example, I have RAM. Okay, 8 GB I'm giving that. 8 GB I'm giving that. Yes. Run this mission. So imagine it. In this situation, I'm having only Linux one mission. Physical mission, I have one mission. On this mission, what I'm doing that I'm going to installing Docker. By the Docker, I'm going to creating server. I'm going to creating server. How many you want? 100 or 200 or 300? Yes. Generally, if you observe that one, if you want to stop and if you want to restart or if you want to shut down the mission, how much it will take time? How much it will take time? At least minimum 3 to 4 minutes. 3 to 4 minutes. Okay. If you shut down and restart 100 missions, how much it will take time? Okay, maximum. If you are going to controlling by the controller, remote controller, yes, we can manage. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, 3 to 5 minutes we can finish that. But why you want to spend that much of time? If the client asking that 0 downtime, how can you manage? How can you manage? Within 1 second, we can launch 2 servers. Within 1 second, we can launch 2 servers. 2 servers. You can restart 2 servers. You can shut down 2 or 3 servers. See, okay, that's a major advantage. Major advantage with containerization. Now see. Even AWS also, okay, little bit expensive services. But if you are having your own data center, you need to manage 24/7. If you don't want to manage 24/7, if you don't have that much of capability, you can choose that AWS servers because they will maintain 24/7 without downtime. You can choose one server from the AWS high-end server. You can choose one AWS server. From there, you can configure Dockerization. But you are paying for only one. You are paying for only one server. From one server, you can create multiple servers. Multiple servers. but we are not paying to multiple servers. We are paying only which one is the base server is there. We are paying for that base server only. Okay, now see, present we don't have that software. Okay, we are going to installing that software. Yes, I stopped this recording. You can't see in the recording session this one on video because it's not belongs to demo session, but practically little bit how we can use this one, the concept. We can manage private and public and private. Yes, now yes, rpm-qy Docker. So we install that 1.13, but we will install that latest version 19 point something, that 19 point something is there. We'll see that. Okay, we'll install that. Now see Docker ps, no one not available. Yes, systemctl, we need to start that. Systemctl status Docker not running. We need to start it. Started, you can check it. See running, up and running. Now Docker ps, no one not. PS mean process. No one not available. The servers, I mean that containers. In Docker format, we are going to calling as a container. In production environment, we are calling that a server. Micro servers or virtual servers. Okay, VM, virtual machine. Okay, but this process is little bit different to present. Okay, so this is the base mission. This is the base mission. This is the imagine. This is the mission. So how much we have given that 8 GB RAM? We have given that 8 GB RAM. Now you can see here. Yes, free iPhone H. We have given that 8 GB, but we can't utilize that 8 GB, complete 8 GB. So mission will consume some RAM from the given RAM. Now this is the RAM and the swap memory 5 GB. Total 12 GB is there. Okay, fine. Concentrate on this one. Okay, now you can, how many servers we can create now? So we should have some one base image. If you want to execute that server, we should have that create server. We should have one base image. It's a template. It's a template. We are calling as an image in Docker format. We are calling image in Docker format. It's a predefined. Developers will develop that one. Developers will develop that one. By using Docker command, we are pulling this image from the Docker hub, either private or public. We are going to pulling that image. Then we are going to applying that command to create container or server or VM. So present in our local machine. It's the local engine. In this local engine, we don't have any kind of images. I'm not a developer. I don't know how to develop that image. Which means that a template. I don't know how to develop that template. But predefined templates are there. I'm going to downloading that. I'm going to downloading that. Yes, I'm going to downloading that CentOS. See, present we are using cat/etc OS iPhone release. So we are using CentOS 7 version core we are using now. Okay, now What is that? Cat space slash etc hyphen release. And free hyphen heads. 8 GB RAM, and we are using that. Now we are going to pulling that new OS, CentOS. Yes. So we are getting one image from the Docker Hub. Present we are using that public server. We are pulling that. Okay. We are pulling that image from the Docker Hub to our local engine. This is the local engine. Now Docker pull CentOS.
Sir, is this CentOS is a image?
Yes, CentOS is the image.
Okay, it is there in the Docker Hub. This command is just helps to pull
Yes,
that
yes,
image
yes.
in the
We are
local
pulling.
machine.
Yes. Now, okay. Now Docker images. So we got it. Okay. It's developed before 2 months. The size is, see, minimal size. Minimal size. For example, just imagine it. If I am giving one white paper, you are asking that. Okay. Just imagine it. You came for offline classes, but you came without any paper or pencil or something. That yes, I am giving both. I am giving one white paper. White paper. Okay. After taking that white paper, what you can do? You are going to fulfilling, or we are going to writing something that. After writing that, who can use that one? Yes, that paper, who's useful that? Yes, who are having knowledge and who are having experience related to what you have written inside the paper. They can use that one. They can use that one only. See here also, yes, the CentOS organization or Docker organization giving one plain OS. Plain OS. In the OS, there is no any kind of related your requirement. You need to fulfill yourself. After taking that, imagine it's a white paper, plain OS. After taking that, yes, you can install whatever you want. After installing, automatically it will increase the size. In upcoming VM, yes, see, present we don't have that any kind of VMs. It's empty. Now what I'm doing that, I'm going to running that. I'm going to creating one container. Yes, see. Which one you are seeing that long key, encrypted key? That's a server ID. See, I don't know how many times I have applied that. These all are the servers. See how much it will take time. For creating one server, final one. Okay. Now Docker PS. See how many servers are there. Each and every server, whatever it's having that base OS configuration, hardware configuration. Whatever we have given this base OS configuration, hardware configuration, same configuration, it will get that. See, these all are the servers. These all are the servers. Every server having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yes, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64 servers are there. Now you can, okay, multiply that 64 into 8 GB RAM. Are we having that much of RAM? Are we having that much of RAM? See, everyone up and running, every server up and running without getting any kind of pain or without any giving pain related to base OS. Okay, we can manage. This is the major advantage with the Docker. So that reason Docker is a very important tool nowadays. Okay, yes, now you can choose that which one you want, Docker PS. So for example, now I'm choosing this one. Now I'm choosing that one. Randomly you can take it. Yes, so Docker attach. I'm entering into that sleepy. Okay, now, okay, cat spaces /etc OS -release. You can see that a new version, say 8 core. It's not a final, it's in that still under development. 8 and free -h. See, same. Now you tell me what is the problem with the servers? Now you can take whatever you want to. Yes, you can take one more server. All are running, already running. All are running Docker PS. Now Docker attach. Which one? Yes, now I'm taking this one. Yes. Now Docker, sorry, commands won't work here. Now free -h. See, 7.6 every mission. It means that 8 GB. Now cat spaces /etc OS -release. Okay, you tell me, is it advantage or not? Is it advantage or not, guys? Yes. Guys, please tell me, is it advantage or not? How much it will take time? And you can see that the Docker has come out from this Docker PS. See how much it taken time? See. Almost these all are in 1 minute. Which one you are seeing that 4 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago, these all are in 1 single minute. In 1 single minute, how many missions we created? Let's see. If you apply that one single script, automatically it will take that. Automatically it will take that. Yes, which one we have given that? Yes. Now copy this one. Yes, VIM. Yes. You can. Yes, escape. Now see, you can run. See, you can calculate it. You need not apply that again and again. Whenever you want a container, just apply that script, it will run that. Twenty 64 plus additional servers. Now, see, Docker PS. See. See. Every 1 second, 2 servers. Every 1 second, okay, within 1 second we created 2 servers. See. We can manage like that. See, now you can count it how many servers are there. Total servers. All are running. All are running. Nearly 140, 150 servers are running. Yes, Trinath, you asked the question. What is that? By creating labels or change request. Okay, that belongs to maybe Maven.
Yeah, yes, Ravindra. Actually, means when we are, I have a question. Means you said about Jenkins, right? For deployment, direct deployment. For example, if the client want to revert back the changes, so how it will go to revert back the changes without creating a label or change request? Because in Agile, what we have observed is we will create a change request if there is something happening or the client want to revert the changes based on the change request, whatever the changes we have made, that will be reverted back. But in Jenkins, how it will happen?
Everything will happen. Depends on your task. Depends on your task. Okay. We can work with Ansible commands. We can work with what is that Docker commands. We can work with some other what is that yes AWS commands. We can work with Python commands. We can work with Java commands. Depends on requirement. But keep in mind, in your body, so many components are there. Yes, there are different components. All components are not working at a time. Maybe some components. Maybe for example, if you are sitting in chair or something like that. Maybe okay, some components are working. Your eyes are working. Your ears are working. Okay, whenever you are going to typing that keys. Okay, maybe that times your fingers are working. Only some components. Okay. Whenever you are having requirement, that time you are going to using that particular plugin. It's mean that not that nerve only. Am I correct or not? Yes. The same thing. I can't say exactly how many tasks we can work with Jenkins. Yesterday I told you that nearly 1,000 above plugins are there. 1,000 above major plugins, super plugins. Which means you can work with thousands of tasks. 1,000 tasks you can work with Jenkins. But are we using these 1,000 requirements or are we using these 1,000 plugins? Impossible. Impossible. Okay. The 1,000 plugins related to thousands of tasks. Okay. Based on our requirement, yes, if you want to release the patch or if you want to deploy that to super package or based on that requirement. Okay. We will see that. Once we enter into the picture, we'll see that. Okay. Yesterday I told that now, yes, within one class we can't deliver much more about that, but just I'm showing that a little bit practically to avoid theoretically. Okay. So this is the concept. We'll see.
Few questions.
Yes.
Yeah, Nishita.
Do you have any? Are you asking any question?
Yes, sir. Few questions. Sir,
Sorry?
the speed you are going to explain the same that is too fast. So the
Speedy.
writing the commands and the speed you are explaining, it is so fast.
Yes, yes. Ma'am,
So
forget about commands. Forget about these commands. Okay. Don't worry about that. Practical, what you need to concentrate. Yes, see. Just this is the final picture. If we try to discuss about that, yes, it's a not a 1 minute matter or 1 hour subject. Nearly it goes to 1 week to 10 days program. We are going to concentrate much more on Docker and Jenkins. Actually, in my session, nearly 10 days program with 1.5 hour, 2 hours. Okay. But how can you understand within a half an hour or 15 minutes or 20 minutes about these commands? Okay.
okay, sir,
If I am the trainer, if I want to deliver this kind of that practically, once we enter the subject, maybe for next class, maybe won't come that. Okay. Don't bother about that. Okay. Give me that opportunity. Okay. To perform my subject. Okay. Until when you understand that. Okay. Don't worry about that. I'll give that. I'm giving that kind of assurance. You can ask me again and again whenever you are having doubts on the subject. Okay. You don't worry about that.
yeah, sir, one more question. In the mail, the contents are a lot and too much. So how long will be the duration for the whole course?
Which one? Container?
No, everything, because I want to learn everything from the fresh. In the mail is forwarded by the Durga Soft Training. The course content you are going to teach in whole. So the course is DevOps with the AWS. How long duration will for
Okay,
the
you are
whole
asking.
course?
Yes, it goes to 3 months system.
Okay.
3 months.
And you are going to cover the chef and macOS also.
Yes, Linux, whatever we are going to discussing and whatever they mentioned in the website, course content, we are going to discuss it. But you need to sit sometimes, yes, Sunday and Saturday also. Okay. And
Okay.
urgent cases, maybe you need to, okay, leave the session in the middle of the weekdays. Maybe if I have any kind of urgency or something, maybe we can cancel the subject. You are ready to be that one also. But you need not to worry about that. 100% whatever we have mentioned in the website, we are going to fulfilling that. Not only that,
And
and one more
and
thing that,
yeah,
one more
please.
thing that, not only that subject, more than that. Okay, more than, yes, I'll give that 30% more than there what they specified in the website. Deep subject, not a tools. We can concentrate much more on the subject. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Any question?
And the
Something.
speed will be slow because that's very fast for today to understand.
Oh, sorry, Visista, you don't worry about that. Okay, 100% I'll give that. Actually, within demo session, we need to finish it. Already 8:30. Some people are they are ready to leave the session because they want to log in, na? Okay, so that reason. So yesterday, but you believe what? Yesterday I didn't concentrate much more this one. Yesterday we discussed yes freely. Yes, you can ask them, Mr. Srinath, Sainath, and Sanjeev. Uh, okay, and Banu also. You can ask them. They will tell that. Yes, how was the class yesterday, Mr. Banu? And Dheeraj also yesterday he joined that. Yes, so Sanjeev, please.
Yeah, it was slow pace, and we got the content very clearly. Yeah, it was
But
really, yeah.
yes, today we need to conclude that. Okay, so that we need to concentrate. Still, we are having some more. If you want to monitor this all tools, how can we manage? If you want to automate this all servers, how can you automate? Want to install 100 servers to Tomcat? How can you install? If you want to install Tomcat in 100 servers, how can we install? we are having some other tools. Yes, we are having that Ansible is there. Okay, we discuss in the, okay, Ansible is there by using Ansible. What is the use of that? What is that? Yes, maybe it's down. Yes, what is the use of that Nagios?
For monitoring your server.
Yes.
They are working not up and down, the health of the server.
How many servers are in, okay, up, how many servers are going down, how many servers are in critical. So like that, okay, health monitoring purpose, we are going to using that. Okay, how can we discuss? Okay, you need not worry about that. Sister, you okay, 100% I'm saying that I should not go this much speed. Okay, you don't worry about that. Okay.
Okay.
And you are from Canada, na? Yes, Monica, Vanilla, live there. Do you have any idea about them? I
No,
think you
sir. No, no.
friends. Okay, you are the new, na? Okay, no issue. Okay, they are also from Canada. Yes, they are in a evening session. Okay. Okay, fine, guys. Can we stop here now? So we'll start
I have
slowly.
a question. Yeah.
Yes, yes, man.
Uh,
Yes, please.
I have a Ubuntu machine with me. So how
Okay.
I think how to accommodate all those tasks or whatever will be performing as part of the session. How
Yes,
do I?
are you having that base OS Ubuntu?
Yes, Ubuntu.
Okay. Okay, there is VMware tool. You can install VMware.
Okay.
Or else, first of all, yes, you can format that OS Ubuntu.
Okay.
You can install that what is that Windows. On
Uh-huh.
that Windows, you can install that VMware. Also, that practically from beginning. Okay, but I can't show that how to install Windows. Okay, but from scratch. Once we enter into the subject, I'll show that how to install VMware, and I'll give that complete links also. Okay, downloadable links, and
Okay.
from scratch how to install. Okay, and how to configure that, everything that. If you are interested, yes, you can format that OS and you can install that Windows 10 Professional. Okay,
I have another machine where I have only 4 GB of RAM, where I
sorry,
have a Windows machine. So is that
sorry.
fine? Is that
No, yeah, at least we should have minimum 8 GB.
8 GB of RAM. Okay.
8 GB. Okay,
Yeah, got it.
and only you can learn
Yeah,
little
sir.
bit about.
Sir, one more question. For the Linux and the rest of the tools of DevOps, we are going to use that virtualization or we are going to use the cloud machine?
Yes, we are going to using both. First of all, we are going to learning on premises. I mean that virtualization.
Okay.
So once we finish this session, then we can move to AWS. Okay. If you are interested, you can continue. Okay. If you are interested, if you are having that knowledge, okay, I'll show you. I will show you in the virtualization. Okay. Already we are having that experience on cloud now. You can configure whatever. Okay, we are going to discussing on VMware. That's your interest, no issue. Yes. Okay, sister. Any doubt? Yesterday you didn't attend. Okay, seen. Okay. No problem, Sainath. We will discuss that once again. Okay, we will take that session. Okay, and one backup video is there. One backup video is there. Maybe in the DurgaSoft YouTube channel. You can go through that. Or okay, after taking that video session, still if you have any doubt, yes, we will discuss in the classroom. Or else if you want to attend one live demo session, I'll take that. No issue. Okay, fine. Any question?
yeah, again, whatever we will be doing here, again, same thing we will be performing on AWS as well, right?
Yeah, not complete. Okay, I'll give that 30 to 40% or 50%. Some important concepts.
Okay.
Some concepts. Okay. Every day you are doing practical on this VMware now. nearly 70% commands are same. Not 70%, nearly 80% commands are same, whatever we are going to configure. But small changes you need to configure on AWS, okay, missions, that SSH and something that yes, selecting that IP addresses and what is that is selecting that port numbers and port names. Those are the little bit different. Okay, you can understand easily, very simple, very simple. Actually, you believe or not it, if you want to learn subject, yes, you can learn easily on AWS. Okay, ready-made food, they are giving nearly 60 to 70% ready-made food. But here, we need to gather from scratch. We need to gather the subject and the tools from the scratch. Okay, which one you want? You tell me. If you are interested to continue with AWS, yes, we can continue, no issue for me. But we can finish within the days. Okay, within the 2 months, we can finish that. Okay, that's also better for me. Yes, you tell me which one you want. Both you want or only one? Yes.
Both are there.
Vashistha, you? Yes, yes, no issue here. That's my responsibility. Saina, that's my responsibility. Once we finish this demo session, we need to start from practically. Once we enter into the practically, 100% I'll show that in front of you. Okay, if you are ready to share your mission to enter this public team, yes, you can do yourself. I'll guide you. I'll guide you how to install and what are the steps. Just you listen and you follow the steps. You can install yourself in your mission. Yes, whenever we are going to installing in the session, in your mission, the session will record. Okay, the same concept will share to all. If you are interested, guys, one more thing that if you are interested to configure whatever we are going to discuss in the classroom, I'll share you. I'll make you as a presenter. You that you need to share your screen. Then I'll give the steps. You can follow my steps. You can install in your mission or you can configure whatever that. The same session will record. Okay, after finishing this, yes, the record will goes to all peoples. If you are interested, okay, I'll give the permission. Okay, it's not a one-side class. Complete both. Okay, interactive mode class. You need not worry about that. Okay, Sainath asking that, sir, please guide us while installing VMware how to do in legacy system and okay E5 system. Okay, that's a process a little bit different. You need to go in the BIOS mode. Okay, or that's the complete BIOS process, and please guide what errors will face while configuring, how to resolve it. Okay, first of all, first time some missions, okay, we haven't configured or we haven't not enabled that VT technology in our BIOS. Okay, first time whenever we are going to installing that which one VMware, whenever we are going to creating VM in virtual machine, sorry, in VMware, first time, okay, maybe or may not be, okay, you will get that issue. Which one? Yes, you need to enable that VT technology in BIOS. You need to stop that immediately, the process, you need to stop it, you need to shut down your mission, you need to reboot that mission, you need to enter into the BIOS. Okay, you need to find that BIOS option. So once you enter into that BIOS option, yes, you can see that VT technology in 1 or 2 first menu or second menu or third menu. Okay, almost it's available in all missions. Okay, yes, you need to, by default, maybe it's a disabled. You need to enable that. Okay, after enabling that, you need to save that BIOS settings. Once you launch that mission OS, okay, after launching that, you need to launch that VMware. Okay, VM already created. Okay, basic level. Once you click on that, automatically the process will start. From there also that. Okay, from there also that. Okay, from beginning also that, no issue. Clear? But only because I can't handle from remotely, na BIOS, your BIOS. Okay, I can't manage remotely. Once your mission launch, I can manage from here. Okay, I can control. Okay, I can take control on your mission. We can do whatever you want. If you have any got, okay, any issues. Clear, guys? Okay. Yes, Vishishta, any doubt?